Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday's Daily Antidote of Song, making each day better one song at a time. Love that. And hello to everybody on Facebook Live. It's so great to see you all today. I want to thank Carpe Diem Arts for supporting this wonderful program. And we've made it through the week. It's Friday. And so I'm going to hand things over to Andrea Blackford, my co-host this week, to say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello to Aaron, who's doing our tech today. Hello to our special guest, Cheryl Lane, who's going to sing for you today. Hello, Alcy. Hello, Brian McLaughlin. Hello, Pat in Tacoma Park. Hello, Rosemary Irving. Good to see you. Good morning. And hello, Annette. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Dan in Vienna, Virginia, not the other one. Hello, Susan G. Hello, Busy. Good to see you. Hello, Arlene Baxter in Berkeley, California. Hello, Sheila in Florida. Hello, Hoda. Hello, Hindi. Hello, Harold Blackford. Hello, Ruth from Birmingham, England. Hello, Gary Pausner. Hello, Kevin in New Hampshire. Hello, Becky Kane. Hello, Carolyn in Boise. Hello, Sarah Page. Hello, Susan Miller in Seattle. Hello, Bonnie Schuster in Boise. Hello, Steve and Michelle Schuster in Silver Spring. Hello, Karen in Oregon. Hello, Nancy, and hello to your cow. Hello, Mike Matheson. Hello, Julie in Ontario. Hello, Bronwyn in Victoria, BC. Hello, Susan Sean. Hello, Luda in Victoria. Hello, James Harkless. Good to see you. Hello, Carolyn Quant. Hello, Mabel and Bob and friends. Hi. Hello, Fred Stolnitz in Silver Spring. Hello, Sue Sean. Goodness. Hello, Aloysius. Hello, Ray Rozzi. Hello, Loriana, Kachina, and Courtney. Sorry about that. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Anna. Hi, James. Hi, Storm. Good to see you again. Hello, Amanda and Miles in Michigan. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Joni. Hello, Jane. Hello, everyone. Wow, we've got a full room today and a wonderful, wonderful song we're going to hear. So I'm going to toss things back to Betsy. And if we didn't catch you on the hellos, I will catch you on the goodbyes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us on day 5 of Washington Revels week, where we're giving you a little sampling of song leaders from our community and members of our 4 wonderful ensembles: Gallery Voices, Heritage Voices, Jubilee Voices, and Maritime Voices. Links for supporting this program, this wonderful Daily Antidote of Song and Washington Revels, are in the chat for you. Before we get started, I wanted to just, I know some of you have heard this many times, but in case this is the first time you came this week, we have some wonderful programming coming up in the month of September related to the ensembles. And specifically tomorrow, Jubilee Voices is going to be part of a wonderful event in Prince George's County that's called Echoes of the Enslaved. And it takes place at live at Marietta House Museum. And that information, that link is in the chat, so you can find out more about that. I saw that the program actually starts today with some online events, and then tomorrow has some live events. So do catch Jubilee Voices tomorrow. And Maritime Voices is singing on Sunday at the Tacoma Park Folk Festival. And that is both live and live streamed, so do catch them there. And then Gallery Voices later on in the month is going to be at Glen Echo Park. And we're going to be singing madrigals as part of the closing event for the carousel for the season. So lots going on. And in addition to all of that, we're auditioning next week for Christmas Revels. So if you happen to be in the area and that's something that you're interested in, do check out that link. So this week, we've been getting to know some wonderful singers from our community, and I am so happy to be able to bring you Cheryl Lane today, who I have known since 2004 when she was the assistant director for my first Christmas Revels production as music director, which was, I believe, The King and the Fool. And she had her littlest, her oldest, but at that point she had a little baby with her toddling around in our meetings. And so I feel like I've known Cheryl for a good long time, and I'm just so excited to have her here today. She sings, she not only does that kind of stuff like assistant directing, but she also is a wonderful singer, and she has sung in many Christmas Revels productions and is part of Jubilee Voices. So today she's going to bring us a wonderful African American spiritual that goes back to the Civil War era. And I just want to then just now hand things over to her so she can tell you a little bit about her song and then teach you the refrain, and then we'll sing. So over to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Betsy. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me today. We are going to be singing a well-known spiritual. It's been recorded over and over and over by many people, called "Oh Mary, Don't You Weep." And it was originally thought to have been born, I want to say it wasn't written per se, but during the pre-Civil War era, during slavery. It is from the very roots of our Jubilee Voices programming, one of what Andrea often calls our chestnuts. It's sort of a song that we can kind of pull out at any time. It's a great one to get audiences involved, and it has so many incarnations. So you might know a different verse than the ones you see here. Though I chose the ones that we've used in Jubilee Voices the most. Because this is often used in our programming to illustrate a coded song, a song that tells the people who are singing it coded information. So it might have been, hey, we're meeting on this rock, or hey, don't worry, something's coming that we're going to be doing. But if you look at it at a more surface level and kind of what it's come to be as a spiritual, and also, I mean, in the 60s and 70s as a protest song, you might have heard it by Bob Seger, Bruce Springsteen, Aretha Franklin. It's had many incarnations, and it's kind of come to mean in my eyes, what Revels always kind of does for us, which is it don't worry, Pharaoh's army, being whatever that evil is, whether that be for them, literally the army, or the darkness, or whatever it is, believe in God. God's going to wipe out that army and return us to the light. It's going to be okay. So there are lots of other possible histories for this song. That's kind of the basic. If you're interested, Library of Congress has some great stuff on it about more details, but that's sort of where we have approached it from. So I'm going to teach you. The thing I love the most about this song as a sing-along is even if you've never heard it, you'll know it immediately, within 2 verses. The verses are the same tune as the refrain. So I'll teach you the refrain, but you've got the words to the verses in there too. And if you want to sing those, feel free. And one thing I really love about this song is it really encourages you, if you're a singer or just feel like adding your own special touch to it, to improvise a little around the melody. So I'll sing the melody the whole time, giving you the opportunity to, I don't want you to think about this as singing a song, think about it as feeling the song and giving it whatever comes to you. So let's see, let's start with the refrain. It's gonna be, I'll sing it once for you and then we'll go through it line by line. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Okay, first line. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Now you. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Good. Second line. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Already? Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. I see a lot of you know this. Good. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Pharaoh's army got drowned. And last line. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. All right, let's sing it all together and we'll get going. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. One of these mornings, bright and fair, I'm gonna spread my wings and cleave the air. That Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Refrain. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oops, sorry about that cuckoo clock. If I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses stood. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. When I get to heaven, gonna scream and shout. Ain't nobody gonna turn me out. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my shoes, run about the glory and hear the news. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Once more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Awesome. I see you all dancing in there. So great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl. That was wonderful. Thank you for leading that song. I can tell you that I could see clapping and swaying, and I was swaying. It was just a great song to bring to us on Friday. So I wanted to just ask you some questions just to like learn a little bit more about you. And so first off, which we've been asking probably everybody this week, how did you get involved with Washington Revels? And specifically, how did you get involved with Jubilee Voices?
Sure. So in 2004, like you said, during Betsy's first year as musical director, I was Roberta Gaspari, the artistic director's assistant, and I've known Roberta for 30 years. We did theater together when I was in college, and she actually hired me for my very first performing professional acting job. But I had given all that up and I was raising babies and needed something cool. And Roberta was like, oh, I know just the thing. And I was hooked immediately and have never left. And then we did the American show in 2006. Is that right, Andrea? That's right, Betsy. Okay, 2006. And I got to be part of the group that brought the Gullah tradition to the show, which was an incredible and enlightening experience, really, to have those tradition bearers come to us and share that music with us and learn the traditions of it and bring shouts and all these things. Was great. And then when Andrea was forming Jubilee Voices, since I had already been a part of that, she asked me to join. And of course, I said yes. Oh my gosh. And I have not regretted it one bit over the decade that we have been singing as Jubilee Voices.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Cheryl. So the Daily Antidote of Song was born out of the pandemic and has been a wonderful way for those of us that are isolated or going through things or whatever has been happening in all of our lives in all these different places. I see people from Canada and England and all over the country in here. And so this is just one thing that has sort of grown out of that pandemic to kind of bring people together. I'm curious, like, how's the pandemic been for you? What's been going on with you and your family and your life?
I think a lot of you probably know that I had a bout with ovarian cancer this last year. And you all actually were honored me one time during the Daily Antidote of Song. And unfortunately, I was at a doctor's appointment that day, had to watch it at the end of the day. But it has really been difficult to be hit with the pandemic and then to be hit with a diagnosis like that. And I have children at home and I was working full time. And so it's been a big change for me and my family. And, I have been a part of this Revels community when we have gathered to heal a lot of awful things that have happened in our lives and a lot of hurt, and been there for the people in my community. And I knew when I got sick that was the community that would lift me up, and it absolutely has. And who knew Daily Antidote of Song would grow out of that and be part of that community as well. I think it's exactly what Revels has meant to me and to so many people. Is it's singing, sure, that's fine, it's performing, but it's also shared culture and shared support, and knowing that your community lifts you up in times of darkness. I think that's part of what's so cool about this. Like you were saying, Betsy, that there are people from all over the world who maybe wouldn't be able to make it to a Revels performance, but you're here and you are part of the community, and that is really, really special. So for me, the pandemic, while terrible, and cancer, while also terrible, has really proven to me how important community is, and how it's your community that's going to get you from the dark to the light. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, all of that, 100%. We're so, I think we've all had our own experiences through this pandemic. Some probably not as hard as yours, but I'm so glad that the community support in all the various ways has been part of your life, and actually part of all of our lives here, through the Daily Antidote and through whatever other things you have been connecting with during this continuing, sadly, pandemic time. Whew. Well, I feel like it's time to sing again. I think we should reprise your song, because I feel like that's what we need right now. And so I'm just going to hand it back to you. Just do as many verses as you want. I'm happy to sing it as many times as you feel like singing it. So
all right. I want to say, just for anyone who's wondering, I'm doing great. I'm in remission. I'm in maintenance treatment and doing great. So, and I have a new hairstyle. So, all right. I want to encourage you this time. Don't just sing when I'm singing. Sing whatever comes to your heart. So if you want to harmonize, if you want to play with it a little bit, and then at the end we're going to give it what we so fondly refer to as the good times ending. In Jubilee Voices, you see Andrea clapping. That means if you've ever heard the theme song from the show Good Times that was in the 70s and 80s, it just means we're going to give it, some riff, a little bit of whatever it is that floats your boat and fills your soul today, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Oh, Mary, don't you weep, don't you moan. Pharaoh's army got drowned. You ready for the big ending? Oh, Mary, don't you weep.
All right.
Woo, thank you for the flavor. I can feel it.
Thank you. And there's a lot of wonderful stuff coming in the chat. So hopefully you'll see that. If you don't see it now, we'll send it to you. So yes, everyone's wishing you some continued great health and
Thank you.
and just blessings and love and grace and everything. So hallelujah,
Yes.
I'd say today. So I just want to thank everybody again for joining us today and for Cheryl to come here and lead us in that wonderful song. This is the Daily Antidote of Song, Washington Revels Week. We've got 2 more days, Saturday and Sunday, and then you'll be on to something else starting on Monday. I don't know what that is, but I'm sure it's going to be great. Do remember that on Saturday, Jubilee Voices is at Marietta House Museum in the Voices of the Enslaved, Echoes of the Enslaved program. And that something is going on today. So look it up and there may be something to tune into this afternoon if you're interested. Christmas Revels auditions are next week. And Maritime Voices is also performing this weekend on Sunday, Tacoma Park Folk Festival. And I think we've been reminded a couple times that Tacoma Park Folk Festival, and this is from Fred, is going to be live streamed, including Maritime Voices and Ukes on the Move and DC Labor Chorus and lots of groups that you may know about, plus some in-person music making in addition. So do check out the Tacoma Park Folk Festival because I'm sure that's going to be a great time. So Andrea, I'd like to hand things back to you to thank everyone and to say a fond farewell to everyone in the room.
I hate this part, but I'm going to make it fun. So, this has been a great time, everybody. Thank you for being here. I saw a couple questions that I want to impart to y'all. First, that Marietta House Museum is in Glendale, Maryland. That is in Prince George's County. And somebody had a really quick question about pushback about coded songs. Yes, there has been some things written about that, as well as quilts. Remember, when we're dealing with history and the Underground Railroad and coded songs, some of that is history, some of it is lore. And what scholars are doing is they are working to separate those things and to find out which is which. So there's lots of stuff you can read about that, but I wanted to address that so people don't feel discouraged. We know a lot has been transferred through oral history, and one day we'll have a seminar and talk about it. It's fascinating stuff, I think. Anyway, it's time to say goodbye and to give some thanks. So I'd like to thank Cheryl, our special guest today. Thank Carpe Diem Arts. And thank you, Aaron, for your wonderful tech. Thank you to Joe, the person who made all this possible. Thank you so much. And thank you to my lovely co-host, Betsy. Thank you. I like to think of her as my partner in musical crime. But
and I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second because
Yes.
I saw something come through the chat about Dan and Claudia Zanes having something tonight. And I just want to make sure, because the chat's been zooming by really fast, that they are, I think it's a release concert of their Smithsonian CD. And so if you go to their website, danandclaudia.com, there is a concert tonight in Baltimore. I'm not sure if it's online as well, but go check it out, especially if you live near Baltimore, because we know how great they are. And that's something you don't want to miss. The link is, the very last link is at the bottom of your chat. So check it out. Back to you, Andrea.
Okay. And one other thing about Echoes of the Enslaved, part of tonight's activities include a slave dwelling experience where you can spend overnight on the premises. Please look that up and find out more about it if you're interested. And I'll let that go and go on to the other. I'd like to thank all of you for being here today and for being here during Revels Week. Tomorrow I won't be here because we'll be performing, but I'll see you on Sunday with Jubilee Voices. So, are you ready to say goodbye, y'all? Ready? Okay, here we go. So, goodbye, Betsy. Goodbye, Aaron. Goodbye, Cheryl. Thank you so much for that beautiful song. Thank you, Alcie. Thank you and goodbye, Brian.